ꯅꯍꯥꯟꯗꯤ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯅ ꯄꯨꯊꯣꯛꯆꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ learning English grammar ge anoba episode amada mayam pumnamukpu taramna okcheri aikoi makhatana mamangi chayolda yengkhibdo khoi mayam makhatana yengminasi aikoi infinitive si karamba matamda kari maram gi damakta sijinabano haibasi khoi mayam yengduna lakpani ada anisuba maram aikoi mayam yengminasi mamangi chayolda aikoi infinitive si aikoi yengkhrabane haukrabane infinitive haibasi masi ahanba kari maram gi dak sijinabano haikan to reason the intentions kari maram gi damakta aina thabak ama pangthoibno haibasi khoi ukre to answer the question why haibasi khoi na ukre anisuba maram why we use infinitives in our conversations or in our writing see anisuba maram si kaino kan to modify the nouns ko masi example akoi yengsi nouns modify tawnana bagi nouns modify tawnana bagi damakti masi kai oige ha kanda when infinitives is used to modify nouns then it is adjective natraga adjective phrase and mo ola ani ko yengsi ko maka example yengsi we need a hero to save us for example ko to save haibasi infinitives ni ado haibasi to save haibasi adjective phrase ama oina masi akoina oire masi adjective oina koina masi infinitive verbs oina oitargasu maxi it is employed as an adjective phrase to modify the noun masi hero se masi hero haiba noun si masi modify to na way the example creating see would you like to drink would you like something to drink masi ju masi adjective phrase oira koi si da koina ure ko adigi it was a dumb thing to say and I regret it masi aina haibdu apang mugi mong da ai hairure ai yam regret oire masi da kaino to say haibasi su masi ngasai gi a dumb thing haibasi masi modify to noun se ko adu masi kai ore kan the exact adjective phrase ama oina koina sida uba masi koina ure adu makata na yengsi I have two cats 3 dogs and 2 parrots to care for ko aina section na yengsen bigadaba aigi cats ani cat ani hogdong ani adagi hui ahum aduga parrots ani lei haisi koina masigi sentence di koina uba yabsi kaino hai kan masigi infinitive phrase to care for haibasi masina masidaida yauriba nouns cats dogs and phrase se masi modify tore masida koina ure aduna anisubo maram why we use infinitives is to modify nouns in the sentence ahum subo maram why we need or why we use infinitives se kari maram gudang ta season no hai targadi aikoi na action word si aikoi na sentence amagi subject oina season abagi pibam lakpa matam da aikoi infinitives oina season for example aikoi ubaya si action words kudamana to run aina chen basi ai pami akoi manipuri da haigana say to run is what I like hairsi example ko and then masi to run haibasi aseng by the action ne the to run haibasi masigi sentence the subject oina season example I krapizage and it will make you more clear in your understanding yengsi ko to love someone requires patience and understanding ko masigi sentence the aikoina subject si karino haina yengbu matamda to love haibasi masi subject ne aduna aikoina action nama akoi action nama sentence da sentence amagi subject oina season ge hai taragadi akoi infinitive season sida da koina urisi keno to love someone haibasi masi action namani aduna kanagu mom nungsi ba haibasi di masi akoina understanding leiba amasung akoi se koina khangbi basi darkar lei haine aduna amukan haizer ke to love someone requires patience and understanding masigi sentence da to love haibasi infinitives ni adu masigi infinitives se kari un season ge hai kanda it has been employed as the subject of the sentence aduna when we want to use an action as a subject of a sentence then we use infinitives as we have just seen in the above example let me give you some more examples example khaga ipizage to go this late seems pointless to go haibasi maside koina ure masisu sentence adugi subject ni ko masi subject on seasonare and my haisi kaino to go this late seems pointless asukki matik thengna chat pai bisidi masidi kana da bagumani hai mais pointless hai ni ko adagi to forgive is the highest form of walking in love aduna ngakpi ba hai bisina khwai digi aikoina nungsibada hingbagi nungsibada chatpagi khwai digi achouba adugumba kongthang amani or phibam amani haini amka pazarake to forgive is the highest form of walking in love masidai akoin uri to forgive haibasi masi infinitive ni adu masigi sentence da akoin urse kaino this has been used as the subject of the sentence masigi sentence gi subject oina sizna aduna ahum suba maram why we use infinitives akoigi infinitive ki usages ki ya maru oiba mayam singi marakta amade kaino I can say when we want to use an action as a subject of a sentence adu targadi akoigi de I can the infinitives akoi sizna makata na marisuba usages one of the usages of infinitives ki marisuba maram si koi mayam yeng si why we use infinitives in sentence ko si yeng si I can the after the adjective ki matungda infinitive se siznai ko kodamai habda akoigi context to bu describe tongna ba aduga akoigi why mana sizna ki du daida hena some more information si akoi hena atop kano wafum zikra hena high na ba or add tongna ba tinjan na ba kitamukta koi adjective ki matungda akoi infinitive sizna for example I'm happy to be here happy habsi akoi adjective amani adana I'm happy to be here aina maphamsta lakpase leibase yam harawi ko adana adjective ki matungda to be like se koi namsi example amani it's nice to live the city do thadoga lakpas haibase chatpa haibase si aphabani hai mai si ko phajai hai ne to nice haibsigi matungda to live haibsi akoina si infinitive akoina seasonary adagi computers are easy to use with practice ko computer sing se akoina practice to matamda masi season ba yam lai masi akoina ursi kaino I can the in all these different sentences which I've just shown you aina mayam the uchakriba sentence mayam sing se akoina ursi kaino I can the high infinitives all these infinitives which we have just seen are used after the adjective ki matungda akoina seasonai makata na infinitives are used with the words to haiba or enough haiba wahi si lakpa matamda akoi infinitive se seasonai for example ko yeng si for example I have too many books to fit in my backpack ko aigi backpack ta aigi nam aigi nanganda puriba sigi pack or masigi bag sida yauriba kano singse masigi light singse aigi like hapam like house da chanda ba makai aingon da yaurisini aside hai kano I have too many two haibo why is season can stay da ngai ai hojai gi kano manga suba maram why we use infinitive se kano two haibo why is season matam da koi infinitive se koi season hoji ure we have too many books to fit in my backpack and the saying sigi sidai akoi infinitive se yamaru oina akoi sizinabudi nate often unnecessary oi masi to fit have si yaw the tag su my meaning di dum leibani adabu nonetheless it's help masi akoi sentence ki akoi clear oi the vague oi ba matam da akoi na masi sentence clear oi hanna bugi dam ta hena clarity masi leina na bugi dam ta koi haiba infinitive se koi sizinai ko I have too many books in my backpack haiba dum yai adabu to fit haiba matamda ngasagi clarity leitaba vague oiba ko clear oidaba se masigi to fit sina koi masi clarity hena pinabi ko yengsi ko I have too many books to fit in my backpack example creating see we collected enough firewood to last the winter si akoi masi konanaba akoi firewood se koi khomjal collect tore hene enough sidai matungda koi kai lai sida to last haibasi infinitive ne makatana they were all enough to vote but not to drink ko masidai all enough to vote makoi vote thadabagi sahi di surabane adabu thakpagi or nisa chabagi sahi di sude yade haine mai si ko and sidai kono ursi kaino hai kan stay the enough ꯁꯤꯖꯤꯜꯂꯛꯄ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ to ꯁꯤꯖꯤꯟꯅꯔꯛꯄ ꯃꯇꯝꯁꯤꯗꯩꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ infinitive ꯁꯤꯖꯤꯟꯅꯩ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯤ ꯃꯁꯤꯒꯤ sentence ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯤꯡꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯎꯕ ꯐꯪꯉꯦ ꯃꯈꯥ ꯇꯥꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ why we use infinitives ꯇꯔꯨꯛ ꯁꯨꯕ ꯃꯔꯝꯁꯤ ꯌꯦꯡꯁꯤꯀꯣ ꯃꯁꯤ they are used with most phrases ko phrases with most relative pronouns ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯆꯌꯣꯜꯁꯤꯡꯗ noun ꯒꯤ ꯃꯈꯜ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯑꯃ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ pronoun ꯒꯤ ꯃꯈꯜ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯑꯃ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯅꯩꯅꯈ꯭ꯔꯕꯅꯤ pronoun ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯃꯔꯛꯁꯤꯗꯩꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ relative pronouns ꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯎꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ infinitive ꯁꯤ phrases with relative pronouns mayam singsiga koi sizinai relative pronoun da mayam am lere relative pronoun si kai no hai kana who whom what where when and how adu why si yawe adu except why si nataba atopa relative pronouns ko masi phrase atopa phrase ka sizinaba relative pronouns singda infinitive si sizinai example p si koi example yengmina si yengsi ko I don't understand how to win the match. Ko how sisina matam sida how is one of the relative pronouns. Aduna relative pronouns sisina matam da aikoi infinitive sisina as koi masida ure ko. I don't understand how to win the match. Masigi match si karamba mong da aina ngamdoino sa ai khangde how to win. Masida koi to win I see infinitives ne have koi masi ure. Makata na playing football is about knowing when to kick the ball and when to dribble the ball. Ko masi kun football sanaba haibsidi karam kanda ball do kaw doino karam kanda na koi chelaga chattoino haibsi masi khangbuduni haini maisi adu sida aina mayam uhningi ba pot se keno hakan when haibsi seasonare when ji relative pronoun amani aduna relative pronoun season matamda aikoi infinitive seasonai haibudugi praman oina masi sentence akoina uba phange amka pa ucharke playing football is about knowing when to kick the ball and when to dribble the ball. Ko makatana here's a list of whom to call in an emergency. When emergency lakpa matamda aina phone tawdaba mi mayam jugi list to silai haine asida haise keno whom haibsi relative pronoun amani adu relative pronoun sidina matamda to call to haibsi call haibsi infinitives ne adana infinitives se karam kanda sidina ge number 6 point that when u is with most of not all ko with most of the relative pronouns when the ure makatana number 3 subada 7 points ta when do we use and why do we use infinitives ko masi with certain verbs kuding makka infinitives se koi sina de there were certain verbs kara koi seasonai the verbs sing do kai no koi ai kara pizarake some few examples aduga kara a list of verbs with which we always use infinitives ko infinitives season ba adu verbs certain verbs kara lady verb loibak nate adu verbs sing do kai no ko yeng si example kara ai pizarake kudamana have the effort I am seeing see I cannot afford to take the risk ko effort I why see ko na season rakpa matamda especially when that verb is followed by another verb atopa verb amaga halakpa matamda masi follow torpa matamda mase always infinitive season kudamana have the I cannot afford to take the risk haibsida effort haibsi verb amani aduga take haibsisu verb amani aduna effort ki matungda take lakpa matamda ko effort haiba verb si matungda take haiba topa verb am lakpa matamda masi always masi infinitive I cannot afford take the risk haiba yaroiba to se lakadoine okay aduna I cannot afford to take the risk I risk lo ngamoy haini mai siko adigi mo makata na ai example haziki effort to gi oiba topa example am pizage I could afford to give you a few hours next week ai matangi chayolda nangonda ai matam khara ai pi danaba ai adu ai ngamgani haine effort togani haine bako and sidai khoina urse effort to give aduna effort haiba why si sinarpa matamda mai matungda amuk verb laktaragadi always it has to be an infinitive organi have say mase khoina ure makata na example kara pizage agree haiba sisu yengsi agree haiba why si always adomna yengma matamda agree haiba why si matungda verb ama inartaragadi haiba verb say infinitive organi haibani ai haijening si yengsi ko agree have saying say he agreed to accept their proposal ko magi proposal makoina proposal moina hairak podo mahakna yare accept tore haine agree tore haine to he agreed to accept ko masidaida agree haibo wahi si matungda verb anoba malak taragadi ma infinitive lakani to accept he agreed not to accept ko he agreed to go he agreed to give ko adan to give to accept haibna ching sing se loi mak lakane ba si agree haibo wahi si lakpa matam staida admai tawdana makatana example am tanga pisage masida she reluctantly agreed to be interviewed masi mahakna chingnarak tawna masi yaningba mapung phana yaningdana reluctant haibdi chingnana or yaningdana ko masi fully yaningba leitana masi interview du tau pina nabagi damta yarakre haine mai se ko adana she reluctantly agreed to be interviewed ko then is the agreed I will see to to be interviewed masi to be interviewed si masi active passive la kan stay the kari manung the be happy no be hap tabadna yadabana haiba sing se koi nainer khigani active passive voice ner pa matam da akoi lakhidoi ni sidaida akoi madugi matang da akoi matam achaba lakhine do ngasi go inadi masida akoi aina uhani pot se kaino hakanda masi passive voice ni adana masi be han lai ni adana she reluctantly agreed to be interviewed and agree haiba matung da to be to go to accept haib se lakadi masi infinitives ni haib ni da ai haining is adana sigumba certain verbs will always use full infinitives if they are followed by a verb form matungda verb form ama lakpa matamda makoi matam chukpada infinitive si sizinagani kudamana da example ai sentence pi da targasu matam leitabnina ai ke hairiba word sing do ai yam thuna salauna ai haijrake aduga screen so dom da ubigani kudamana da aim haiba wahi sisu my matungda lakpa verb am laktaragadi always my infinitive lakani I aim to go example I aim to buy ko mai tawdana aim appear su chap mane adagi arrange attempt beg care choose claim condensed condescend they consent decide demand deserve determine endeavor expect fail forget guarantee happen have go hesitate hope learn long si yam sang budunate ngai ba I long to see you guys I long to go there kana long di I pamjaba long di asang budugi wanate sidai ko aduna when long is used as a verb meaning I want as lakpa matam stay there always my matung stay there to have say inner can infinitive inner can have any say adigi won't manage mean need neglect the offer plan prepare pretend proceed promise adigi refuse resolve sim stop swear tend threaten trouble undertake used God, they give volunteer, vow, want, wish. Hybrid ching ba ma'am sings masigi verb ma'am sings se masi sidar matam da mai matung da atopa verb am inar po matam da it has to be always infinitive as we have already seen in some sentences koi sentence kara ai piraga utsa kibugumna masigi wahi sings se koina masi infinitive in gani so these are the seven points where we use why we use infinitives. Infinitives koi kan kan da season again have sigi point tare to koi hoji koi uri duni ko makata na koi yengsi usage of bare infinitives ko infinitive makal ani laina koi mamang da koi naina krabani ahan bada full or masi two infinitives haiba oire aduga anisu badana bare or zero infinitives andora akoi hoji yengdu si keno usage of bare or zero infinitive si kam kanda season age se koi ma'am yeng mina si ahan bada koi na yeng ba si zero infinitives or bare infinitives se masi use to si kam kanda after modal verbs ki matung da koi na season ai ko koi na mamang da koi na verb ki makhan maten yeng po matam da model koi nai na krabani adana model verb sing chu kai no koi na kitang aina common modal verb to palabada can, may, might, could, should, adagi would, will, and must. Si ma'am sing si modal verb ne. Then high riba modal verb siga sigi matungda akoina infinitives karma infinitives no hai targadi full infinitives nate to yauba adugumba nataba zero infinitives or bare infinitives equine season. For example, I can do this all day. Do I see masi bare infinitives in masi examples today we might be late tonight ngasi aikoi thengba ya be si masi bare infinitives ni. You must not mention politics when talking to my father. Aigi ipa babaga wari sana matamda politics matangda pangano and the mention hai si kano bare infinitives or zero infinitives where there is no two haiba particle masigi two haiba why say yaudaba haitare. Anisubada, why do we use bare infinitives? Number 2 da after perceptions or sensory verbs ko verb simakan aikoi aigi sigi aikoi in the masigi teaching sida ai pan kidraba adugumba kitang ai panjage because of time constraint verbs equine khaidokpa matamda makhan maten mayam khaidokpa yai verb mayam singi marakta aigi list sida yam sangna di ai explain dit tawbugi matam du leitramnina ai kitang panjage mudu kaino kan the sensory verb or perception verb haina akoi verb makhalam lei mudu kaino hai kan sida the verbs that talks about how you feel, hear, see, test or no the feel tawba adugumba why adugumba verbs sing dubu masi perceptions or sensory verbs haina koi ko aduna perceptions or sensory verbs sing kudama have da kudama have da koi ka haina I heard or I feel, I see or I test haibunu mem sing si masi sensory verbs or perception verbs haina koi aduna haiba perception verbs or sensory verbs sigi matungda kano se koi infinitive karamba infinitive no hai kan the bare infinitive sizne. For example, I heard the car arrive before I saw it. Haiba sidai da koi kitang yingsi ko masidi da koi no u si kaino hai kan da masigi points da koi no u si masigi perception verb si masidi da heard haiba si koi na masi u re ko adana masigi matungda ai koi perception verb or sensory verb ki matungda aikoi bare infinitive to seasonai haiba stada aina ma'am da uhaningi pot se kaino haikanda when masigi sentence da aikoina masigi subject object sina akhoi action je to ba haitar ko ayam matam da aikoi sentence yengpa matam da subject na action je to si yam common oi kudawen have da I walk haibasi I see subject ni walking ji kanan to ino aina subject na to ni adu there are sentences where not the subject is doing the action but the object is doing the action ko aduna aikoina masigi kano sidai da aikoigi bare infinitive season of se kram kan season of no hai kan sidai da masi sensory verb ki matung da sizinagani adubu sensory verb sigi matung sizinabu oitaragasu masi action je subject na to nataba object na action to haitare masi. Now take a look once again in the example that I've just given you yingsi ko masi I heard the car arrived aina tadi tare ko adubu car se adubu yorei se aina te yorei se car ni object ni yorei se sida okay adu targadi kun sida ursi keno hai kan sida object car sina action to ribudu aina tare haibani asengbai hargadi action to je arrive to busi ko aduna sidai koina ure keno I heard the car arrive when I saw it aduna arrive hai waisi masi thungakpa yorakpa hai waisi masi koina ursi aina uhani pot se keno kanda it is a bare infinitive bare infinitive to yaudaba ko adana masigi akoi formula de itu hai target subject tagi main verb lae subject ki kaino I ni heard sina main verb ni or sensory or masi perception verb ni aduga car sina object ni aduga arrive hai sina bare infinitive ni sina ai hainingis ko makadana example ek kharga pijage they felt the ants crawl on their arm. Ko. Masida felt haibasi man verb ni. Felt haibasi masi sensory or masi perception verb ni. Ko ang sa haise kibugum na adu matungda magi object sina kaino hai kan sida and sini ko and sina masida mana crawl to si crawl to si kanana no object sina ni ano crawl hai si kaino hai kan da masi infinitive ni karamano bare infinitive ni ko koi matam sulo silagle ai example khara pijage aduga ngasige koi lotion na hona minasi they felt the ants crawl on their arm hai sida masi makoi gi makutta kakching singado kakat podo karak podo makoi power makoi tengnare hai sida masi crawl hai masi action ji karan to ngasai gi objects na to ini aduga masi felt hai masi sensory verb oi maramna crawl hai akoi two yaudana or zero infinitives or last example and then we will wind up for today yes ko she watched the woman in red dress walk across the dance floor ko adugumba angang ba dress set pa nupi adu mahak na ure ka waida mahak na dance floor ko chat pa do man ure haini ko an sidaida akoina sentence sidaida akoina subject si kanano she is ini adigi main verb si kaino watch ni watch have si anxiety sensory verb ni natragana or perception verb ana kawi si matungda kaino ma object si kaino woman ni the woman with the red dress ko sima kai the we hai kanda action ji kanan to we woman with the red dress have sin action to we kaino my action ja walk chat pado action ano walk si kaino hai targeti it's an infinitive what kind of infinitive masi zero or bare infinitive ni ngasi gidam tudi matang sida ako episode ocean minasi matangi cheolda amukka hana in depths of teaching on learning English grammar gi koi masigi matang da ko mayam nei minasi ngasi gidam tudi mayam dagi kana nabagi atang dunizari